Welcome to the 42nd Icpak annual seminar happening here in Mombasa. We're looking at beyond the profession. Accountants in every sphere of the economy. Happening here in Mombasa. The stage is ready.
In an era that demands courage, clarity, and change, the 42nd Annual Seminar Edition 1 stood out as a center of innovative ideas and transformative leadership. Held against the rhythmic background of Kenya's Indian Ocean shoreline in Mombasa, over 3,000 delegates from across the country and beyond gathered at Sarova Whitesand's Pride in Paradise Beach Resort and virtually via Zoom. Held from the 19th to 23rd May 2025, this inaugural edition of the 42nd Annual Seminar was not merely an event. It represented a gathering of visionaries, policy shapers, and accounting professionals from across the continent and beyond. This seminar's theme, Beyond the Profession, Accountants in All Spheres of the Economy, underscored a bold call to expand accountants' roles from compliance and reporting to leadership, governance, and policy making. It also challenged professionals to reimagine their impact not just as accountants, but as stewards of national values, shapers of governance, and architects of inclusive growth. The presence of the Right Honorable Raila Odinga, former Prime Minister of the Republic of Kenya, the 10th Vice President of the Republic of Kenya, Honorable Senior Counsel Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka, and Honorable Susan Auma Mangeni, Principal Secretary of the State Department for MSME Development, among other dignitaries, lent the seminar the gravitas it deserved. Their arrival conveyed the convergence of politics, economics, and professional practice. Their presence was not merely symbolic but rather strategic, a clear reminder that accountants are essential in shaping nations' economic future. CPA Dr. Grace Kamau, Icpak's CEO, and CPA Philip Kakai, Icpak chairman, set the tone. When they took to the stage, their message was clear. The accountant is no longer confined to ledgers but now plays a crucial role in national development, policy making, and governance. They called on professionals to go beyond balance sheets to become guardians of public trust. As she welcomed delegates with grace, the Icpak CEO Dr. Grace Kamau also reflected on the profession's journey and the rising expectations placed upon accountants today.
The role of accountants in economic resilience remains steadfast. Ladies and gentlemen, accountants are the architects of economic resilience. We operate at the intersection of transparency, data integrity, fiscal discipline, and strategic foresight.
Following her, CPA Philip Kakai, Icpak chairman, delivered a heartfelt message reflecting on the seminar's theme and his 10 years' accomplishments. He bid farewell to the membership as he officially marked his final annual seminar in office.
Now I come before you. This will be, and it is, my last annual seminar to officiate as your chairman of the Institute. I must say it has been a journey. In the last 1 and 7 months, call it 2 years, it has been a very good journey and you've supported me and I'm very grateful. And that song summarizes it. Nimekuja kufanya nini? Kusema asante. I think with that, then I should invite the next speaker. So thank you very much. You gave me an opportunity to serve you as the vice chairman. Of course, as a council member, rising to the vice chairmanship of the Institute. And finally, of course, through election to the chairman of the Institute. I've served you for a period of 5 years. And now I go back to my factory settings. So thank you very much.
In his powerful keynote, Right Honorable Raila Odinga urged accountants to go beyond the ledgers. He emphasized integrity, strategic advisory, and active participation in policy as essential tools in building national trust and economic growth. He called for accountants to step up as defenders of public interest.
Let me say that accountants do a very important role in governance. And what you guys are doing is commendable because you're trying to set up standards for accounting officers in the country, which is really required so that the country can be able to develop in a much more faster way. We have a one country only, and this country we must protect and defend. Kenya has real potential, but Kenya has lagged behind because of policies which have been followed in the past. In 1963, as we attained independence, Kenya's economy was equivalent to that of South Korea. Kenya, Ghana, and South Korea were at the same comparable state of economic development. Now, 62 years later, things have changed.
On his part, the accountant and legislator for Molo constituency, CPA Honorable Kimani Kuria, unpacked the topic tax legislation, creating an enabling environment for economic transformation. He advocated for responsive tax frameworks that stimulate growth and emphasized the importance of collaboration between government and professionals.
Kenya, like many emerging economies, has grappled with the persistent tension between growing expenditure needs and limited revenue capacity. This has been most visible in our quest to finance large-scale infrastructure projects that are vital for enhancing long-term productivity and competitiveness. In response, we have turned, understandably, to borrowing, both domestic and international. But borrowing, as the discipline of public finance teaches us, is neither inherently good nor bad. It is a tool, and like any other tool, its value lies in how wisely it is used. The golden rule of fiscal policy is instructive that governments should borrow to invest, not to consume. Debt that finances infrastructure, human capital development, or green energy, or green economy, is justifiable. But debt that finds recurrent expenditure, is neither sustainable nor defensible. Public concerns about debt compositions are therefore very legitimate, and they mirror global conversations.
The seminar also saw ISSB board member Dr. Ndidi Nole Edozien reinforce the power of transparent, uniform reporting in unlocking capital flows and ensuring sustainable investment across Africa. The ISSB, she stated, is not just a regulatory instrument, it's a development catalyst.
How do we capture the value of our nature? How do we capture the value of our youth, of our human capital? How do we make sure, and I'm passing this question to the entire room, how do our accountants make sure that we're capturing the value creation potential of this great continent that we have? And that is the question that we still have on the table and that we still need to resolve. And so in that regard, just know that over the next year, there are going to be industry-specific standards, including agriculture and processed foods, that are going to come out and that are going to require input in order to shape. And what I said, and this is where I'll close, Madam CEO and Mr. Chair, is that Icpak and its roadmap and the work that you've done over the past year, launching the roadmap and the work of the entire council, is what has helped to shape the roadmap development tool of the IFRS Foundation globally. And so Africa's voice is continuing to shape that and is continuing to move us forward on this journey. And if we don't speak up And if we don't participate actively, then we won't be heard.
A pivotal session also explored the regulation of the accountancy profession with insights on global emerging trends, challenges and opportunities for Kenya, as well as evolving regulatory frameworks. The panelists, Professor Isaiah Wakindiki, Vice-Chancellor of KCA University, CPA Sandeep Main Singh from KPMG East Africa, FCPA Erastus Kwaka Omolo from Crow Erastus and Company, and FCPA Dr. John Mudany, Icpak Registration and Quality Assurance Committee Chair, conveyed a strong message. Adaptability, continuous learning, and ethical leadership are essential for the future of accounting. In a commanding session, Dr. James Mwangi, Equity Group CEO, emphasized the need to include Africa in the conversation on sustainable development. His words echoed throughout the conference hall, renewing a fresh call for Africa-led economic models.
The people who worry more about the challenges in Africa are not Africans. Europe is the biggest casualty of the challenge of lack of opportunities in Africa. It's my contention that there is no sustainable world without a developed Africa. And the question is, how can business and industry contribute to a sustainable world by transforming the African continent? Because you can never achieve global sustainability without development and transformation. It may sound heavy for the accountant, but we are where we are. Assume we continue with the path that we have, we don't take action as accountants. How will the world look by 2050 when 26% of the world population will be in Africa? 33% of the labor force of the world will be in Africa.
During the seminar, a high-energy panel moderated by renowned journalist Ayub Abdikadir dissected Kenya's socio-economic and political standing. It featured FCPA Honorable Fernandez Baraza, Governor Kakamega, Honorable Wamuchomba Gathoni, MP Githunguri, Honorable FCPA Thomas Modegu, former MP, Senator Richard Onyonka, Kisii County, and Mwanaisha Chidzuga, Deputy Government Spokesperson. The key takeaways were that Kenya's prosperity depends on accountable leadership, youth inclusion, and economic fairness. In a must-attend session, Mr. Oscar Otieno, Deputy Data Commissioner, and Mr. William Makatiani, CEO Seriano Limited, emphasized the critical importance of data protection and privacy for all professionals. The Unique Document Identification Number, or UDIN platform, was also highlighted as a game-changer in safeguarding the integrity of the audit process by Icpak licensed practitioners to help weed out quacks.
We have complained over time about how quacks have overtaken the professional work. And therefore, this has been a challenge, especially for small and medium practitioners, and this is now crippling in to the big firms and the second-tier firms. And therefore, the users of financial statements, who are our clients, are not able to substantiate whether the services that they are consuming are being offered by professional accountants or people who are not trained to give such services. And therefore, for the institution, that is Icpak, to be able to address this challenge, we sat down and looked at what would be this affordable, accessible, yet reliable way of ensuring that every audit opinion that is signed by members in practice can be authenticated. And technology was the only way out. And therefore, with this background, we did come up with what we are calling unique document identification number.
Honorable Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka praised professionals as anchors of transformation in a thoughtful address during the last day of the seminar. He emphasized that the destiny of Kenya rests not just in politics, but in the silent, ethical leadership of professionals.
The state of the economy, whichever you look at it, from the state of the economy to misplaced and misguided policies in education, health, and agricultural sectors, our nation is failing. The current regime prioritizes its own interests with nepotism and tribalism, willful corruption, and abuse of state offices taking precedence over professionalism. They've even reinvented goonism, political goonism in our country. This morning's address, the role of professionals in national growth and transformation, is thus particularly timely as we reflect on the state of our nation. In my opinion, the accounting profession should be front and center as the foundation of accountability and transparency in a healthy democracy.
In the final moments of the seminar, Honorable Lady Justice Grace Ngenye, Judge of the Court of Appeal, Mombasa, delivered a powerful note of inspiration and responsibility. Her thoughtful closing remarks highlighted the vital connection between justice, governance, and financial integrity, calling on accountants to uphold ethical standards in their work and contribute to nation building. She reminded delegates that judicial independence is key to the delivery of justice to Kenyans.
Judicial independence must be safeguarded. We must all remain vigilant to defend the autonomy of our courts and the integrity of our judges and judicial officers. The Constitution guarantees judicial independence for a reason. It is for the purpose of shielding and protecting the liberties of every Kenyan. So if the judiciary is under attack, every individual, including ourselves, are not safe. Ladies and gentlemen, in 60 years, we have come a long way from a judiciary rooted in colonialism to one anchored in constitutionalism. We have built a justice system that increasingly reflects the values, hopes, and aspirations of the Kenyan people. But the journey is not over. We are still evolving, still reforming, still striving to deliver people-centered justice that is accessible, timely, and transformative.
Representing Honorable FCPA Wycliffe Oparanya, Cabinet Secretary for Cooperatives and MSMEs, Honorable Susan Auma Mangeni, Principal Secretary, State Department for MSME Development, delivered a compelling message that emphasized the vital role of accountants in empowering micro, small, and medium enterprises across the country.
The majority of Kenyans are not being served by the mainstream financial inclusion. I know we've had various attempts as government through the efforts of the central bank, even to come up with the policies around risk-based financing. But the truth is, risk-based financing is not being implemented. If you went to the bank, they will tell you we have a facility for MSMEs, but still, if you ask them which MSMEs are you serving, if they're lucky, maybe medium enterprises. Yet we know majority of players are at micro and small. And all this is about, they will tell you, we don't know them, we don't have KYC, the financial literacy. How I wish that your corporate social responsibility can also extend into embedding financial literacy into our population, so that as we grow our population, they grow with that, and they can then be able to be served in the mainstream. So this is an area that if you want really to influence the economy, this is an area that we'll be looking forward. It is good to build hospitals. I mean, you've said classroom, toilets in schools and everything. But don't also veer off so much from your core. Your core area is about also enhancing and inculcating a culture of financial responsibility. So let's also see how we can work together, and I'll be willing to see how we can work together with Icpak into achieving that.
On their part, delegates described the seminar as transformative, well-curated, and a center of intellectual nourishment.
My name is Arwa Genga from Judiciary, Maseno Locals. I want to thank the organization for this opportunity. It has been a very insightful and exciting experience. I've been able to network, I've been able to learn and then learn. Above all, I've been able to learn one main thing in this changing environment, that I need to ensure sustainability, need to take care of technology, and also integrate myself with the various competencies that are relevant in the field. And it's all beyond accounting. So the world is out there waiting for us to take the leadership opportunities. And I liked the organization, starting from the orientation, the registration process, the type of presenters. Although how I wish that next time whoever has been scheduled to present to abide by that, and we need not to be having a lot of idling time. We need to be engaged more, but it's been fun.
My name is CPA Irene Okello. I work with the judiciary as an accountant. I've been here for the 42nd Icpak Annual Seminar, first edition, and I've really loved it. The topics that were brought on board, especially I enjoyed the Kenya We Want conversation, where the accountants were encouraged to take positions in the boardrooms and where the decisions are made. And actually one of us, CPA Ferdinand Baraza, was here, and he really motivated us to do the same. I also liked the conversation about the industrial, sustaining the financial industrial stability. That was, we had a guest, James Mwangi. The challenges he gave us so many challenges. We need to identify the models that really work for us here in Kenya, and also that the accountants should fit in the gaps.
I'm CPA Caroline Akot, an accountant at the judiciary. My experience at this Icpak seminar was awesome. I learned about cyber security. It was very informative and engaging, especially during this time of digital era. We need so much of that about data protection, and we learned a lot.
Hi, my name is Alex Mutuku from Daystar University. It's quite a joy to be here for the 42nd annual seminar, the first edition of this year. And what a joy it has been to run this partnership with Icpak for the last number of years. A wonderful place this has been. Daystar has been always coming for this, and this has become a breeding ground, especially for our postgraduate students coming in for master's and PhD programs, but also a wonderful place to meet our alumni and just trace the impact they are making in society, especially in the world of finance and accounting. It's an encouragement for all institutions of higher learning to want to plug into this in the upcoming days, in the second edition of the seminar that comes later in the year in November. For this becomes a wonderful ground for practice to meet the academy and even to forge a concerted direction forward. We hope to see you in the next one, and hope to come even into our booth and tent to come and experience more about what we have to offer in our array of programs right here at Daystar.
But beyond the learning, on Thursday, delegates and members swapped spreadsheets for swings in the Icpak Charity Golf Tournament, raising over 1 million shillings for the Finance and Accounting Scholarship Fund. 26 corporate sponsors also made the seminar possible, enriching the event with interactive booths that showcased the future of finance, technology, and manufacturing. The seminar concluded in style, members unwound with music, dance, and fine dining, a celebration not just of a week well spent, but of a profession on the rise. CPA Catherine Asemeit, chair of the annual seminar committee, reflected on the months of planning and thanked members for their good attendance at the seminar.
My name is CPA Catherine Asemeit, the Director of Standards and Technical Services at Icpak, and I'm also the chair of the annual seminar planning committee. So it's a pleasure to have had the just concluded event, which has been a success. It's been really a very long journey of planning and execution, and truly we thank God for how the outcome has been. We sincerely thank everyone that has been involved in this journey. So looking back at the planning of the event, really from the time we started early in the year up to now, actually we started from the last annual seminar where we had discussed a lot on sustainability. So we thought, what do we take next as the theme? And the theme was shaped looking at what more can we discuss, because we discussed sustainability and positioning accountants as the ambassadors. And this time round, we carved it around beyond the profession, accountants in all spheres of the economy. So looking at accountants as having people who've been taking up positions in other areas, not only just within the accountancy profession, but in other areas as well, both in the emerging areas and in leadership positions. So that's how we position this seminar. And it's been really a very good journey from planning up to now when we've come to the ground. It's been very exciting just seeing how everything is turning out. We were able to put in a number of topics, looking at the economy, looking at the accountancy profession, looking at innovation, and looking at the new frontiers of where we are seeing our profession going into, and also soft topics on self-management and self-awareness. So I think it's really transitioned very well from how we fit the topics to the speakers, and we've seen that we were able to bring very high-profile speakers. From paper to execution, we had very few cancellations and very few exchanges. I think most of the speakers were happy to participate, and they were very committed to the event from the time we contacted them up to now. And what I can say is that we've seen a lot of value. Our delegates have also been able to get a lot of value. Networking opportunities have been established, and we are truly grateful to our members and non-members as well for the support. We are grateful to all the institutions that have come in to support us and all the sponsors. We are also truly grateful to our council members and to our staff who have made this a success, and basically to the planning committee that has gone in and put a lot of work day and night to make this a success. So if I look keenly also at the challenges, one of the challenges, this time I think it was more smooth, but again at first there was a challenge of weather, which we are happy that at least that did not come to fruition. The rain was looking like it was going to pose a challenge. We also had the challenge of very high profile speakers and the protocol that comes with them. Really, that is a good challenge, but we were able to embrace it, and at least everything moved seamlessly from how we were able to handle them and how we were able to brief them to their delivery as well. We also had a lot of media people in the house, which posed a very good challenge because we were able to manage that, and the stories that have been shared about Icpak and the messaging that has gone out has also been very positive. So basically, looking forward, we are looking at having another very fruitful event in November. So plans are going to commence immediately once we close this to see what else we are going to position in the next event. And basically, mine is to urge you all to look out for the next event. And first of all, to appreciate you and to ask that if you have anything you'd like to share, come, let's participate and let's collaborate. Thank you so much for all the support, and let's engage again in November.
As the waves of Mombasa whispered farewell, delegates returned home enriched, empowered, and ready to lead from beyond the profession. Thank you to all delegates. We look forward to seeing you at the 42nd Annual Seminar Edition 2, November 17th to 21st, 2025.